I am with the City of Austin, and we have a pretty extensive watershed protection department, and we have a small little outreach group, and I am part of that. So I'm going to tell you about our program. I wasn't 100% sure what you guys wanted, so I just thought I'd tell you what we're doing. And if you have questions or ideas, maybe spark some ideas of things you can do. Being a city entity, it's a little bit different than trying to address issues on a broader scale like this group does. So the Watershed Protection Department, our job is to deal with the impact of flooding, erosion, and water quality. So the Grow Green program for sustainable earth-wise landscaping comes under the water quality aspect of it, trying to keep our water clean. So here we are, Austin, Texas, yay. So Austin is in the Texas Hill Country, and on the east side of our interstate, there's Blackland Prairie, and the west side, it's all Hill Country. That map is all of our watersheds. We actually have 66 creeks in Austin. We're flash flood alley. We have a lot of flooding problems, but we also have lots of opportunities for recreation. We have green belts. There's lots of places you can go swimming. There are active springs all over Austin, and so lots of people enjoy the natural areas, and of course water quality is critical to our survival, so that's why we exist. Because we are in the Edwards, we are in the hill country, we do have very little soil, so that means, you know, pesticides and fertilizers oftentimes don't even make it. They go into the aquifer. So this is a compilation picture of, this is not a place. And where can I go see that? It's 3 pictures put together to show what the geology is like. So, am I doing that?
Nope, that's me.
Wait a minute, magic. It's like the other day I was coming down the interstate going 70 and my speedometer said 0. And I was like, wait, that can't be right. Well, it's broken. So, well, let me start. If you've ever been to Austin, you may have heard about Barton Springs. This is Barton Springs. There's downtown Austin. It's a natural spring-fed swimming pool. It's an 1/8 of a mile long. You're doing it again. Oh, stop it.
People online can't see, so I'm hoping you.
I'm like, we should have coordinated. Okay. All right. So Barton Springs is a fabulous place to swim. The water is at constant 68 degrees, so it's quite refreshing when it's 105 in Austin. But lots of people swim there. We also have an endangered species salamander there, which actually you know, is the indicator for water quality, just like the canary in the coal mine. So we get more money to help protect the water quality at Barton Springs because of that. I've been swimming there for over 30 years, and I'm proud to say that the water's product's pretty great, considering that people have been swimming there for a long time. And more, we have about 100 some people moving to Austin every day. Every day. That's a lot of people. So anyway, the point of this is, we call it the jewel of Austin, the center of Austin, and so we want to protect it because we have very little soil, and a lot of the things that get put on the landscape go down into the sinkholes. They go down into the Edwards Aquifer, and then this whole section of southwest Austin goes to Barton. It goes down into the aquifer, and then it bubbles up at Barton Springs down by the swimming pool. And the way we know that is a number of years ago, USGS scientists and City of Austin scientists did some dye trace studies, and they put non-toxic dye in these sinkholes and measured how long it took to get to Barton Springs, and then they could see where the watershed was. They've actually found it's more extensive than this. This was done a number of years ago. But so if you're right here, you're about 10 miles from Barton Springs, which is up here. How long do you think it took for that water to get underground, 10 miles, come up, Barton Springs? I guess. Oh, guess.
A year.
An
hour.
All right.
3 months.
3 days.
3
3 days. That's why it's so environmentally sensitive, because, yeah, it goes fast. So our whole goal is to reduce chemical pollution in our waterways and raise community awareness about the importance of water quality. So, of course, we don't want that. We want this. Our main audiences for the Grow Green program are homeowners, retail nursery staff, and landscape professionals. So we do lots of different kinds of training aimed at these audiences. This is one that's quite interesting. When you're doing outreach, you need to make sure you choose your words wisely. And the first one's a great example. the Watershed Protection Department got the Parks and Recreation Department to stop mowing along the creeks as much, and they put up no mow signs. And the citizens are going, what do you mean? PAR's not doing their job, like they're not mowing, what are they doing? Take a break all the time? I said, okay, well that's not the message we want. So we changed it to grow zone. All the difference in the world. All the difference. Get very few complaints. So we put no mowing under there, but we explain why. Another one is riparian. We have lots of scientists in our department, and a lot of people don't know what that means. So say creekside. That helps. Dead tree or habitat hotel. We have snags that we preserve out in the green belts and wild areas, and we actually got a big stencil of a lightning bug, and we spray paint it on the side of, near the stumps. So if somebody's out hiking, they see that and go, oh, maybe they meant to leave that there. So it's just coming in here. Riparian restoration project, or future creekside forest. That sounds better. Ecosystem services, we hear a lot of that from landscape architects. Benefits of nature, that's what we're talking about. Integrated pest management, Joe and I had a conversation this morning. I was like, integrated people management. Maybe that's really what we're trying to do. But I'm a horticulturist. I also take the standpoint of integrated pest management. To me, it's the plant health. It's the whole health of the landscape. If you have a good design and good installation, you should have less maintenance. And it's important to have a healthy landscape to help resist those diseases, I promise. So we do this in a lot of different ways, old school print pieces. We have relationships with about 50 area nurseries and garden centers, and they let us bring our displays in to their stores. I actually go in and do trainings with the staff at the nurseries to help them understand why we have these resources. I also did want to mention, because Charles is here, we are partners with the Travis County AgriLife Extension Office. So we work with Wizzy and Wizzy Brown and Daphne Richards on our program, and the Master Gardeners help distribute our information. Our program would not be a success without them. So whenever I meet a Master Gardener, I always thank them profusely for the services. So we have a whole series of fact sheets you can see. We have changed some over the years as things come along. And it used to just be a gardening program, and now we have an interdepartmental grow green team. So I have people from our resource recovery department, our water conservation department, our green building department, and so we're able now to add topics that go beyond just landscaping. So we have one, for instance, for cool spaces. We're working with the fire department because we had a major fire in 2011 in Bastrop, and fire wasn't even on our radar in Austin before that happened, and it was a major fire. So now we're working on the fact sheet for that. Social media, this is the future. I think that's an example Charles gave. How many million? 134 million? I thought we got a couple 100,000 units. We were doing good. So we have a lot of social media. And I think the biggest challenge for all of this is there are so many ways to get these messages out. So when I do a training, we put it out everywhere. We put it in the paper. We put it on TV. And I do surveys every time we give a talk and try to find out where are they coming from? All over. I've got it from my friend. I got it from the neighbor. There's no one place, and that's why you have to put it out there everywhere. We did have kind of a fun thing. This last Saturday, we had a monarch appreciation festival, the butterfly hunt. You're like, monarchs, like, you're bringing the king royal to town? No. And we did our first live Facebook feed from the festival. So one of our staff members filmed me giving a garden tour live on Facebook. I'm like, who's watching that? Well, it's still there, so you can see it on Watershed. But people do. I'm a little older, so I'm not into all that stuff. I'm trying really hard to get on board with it. Yeah, there were people watching it live. Like, come out to the festival. You sit there with your computer. So I write a lot of tweets and send out a lot of things like that. Let's see. So we have a hashtag, and I haven't looked at it for a while, and so I looked at it today, and there was a portrait of me that someone did during one of the classes. It took an awesome class about native plants by Denise Delaney, and then she drew my portrait. Like, no, that's really cool. Is that great? Yeah. I have fun at my job. So we also have a number of demonstration gardens, and I'd be happy to share any of these print materials with you. I didn't want to bring a whole suitcase of them, but we have a whole series of landscape design templates. And so this is a template for a, say, drainage solutions garden, and you get that template, you open it up, and it has the planting plan for that garden, and then you can actually go see it. So you can see how big the plants get and how they look next to each other, how big they get. And these are very quite popular. So most of them have a garden. A couple of them, like the pool-friendly design, they wouldn't let me put a pool in, put a garden around. So that one doesn't have a garden that you can go look at. But these are really helpful to residents that want to do it yourself, and there's a lot of those. It's not very much in focus, but of course signage is really important. We have a rain garden program. We have rain gardens at lots of schools. We have the University of Texas design students help designing gardens for the schools. It's a really neat program. And so we put up these rain garden signs by the rain gardens to educate the public about them. The media campaign, this is where we need to get online. Can you do that for me? So a number of years ago, we came up with this media campaign. We're trying to think, what are the big three questions? The big three messages that we're trying to get to people. And one of them is just kill the bad guys. Although we're taking the word kill out of that now because, you know, it's like just help the good guys or something instead of using the word kill. And then don't over-fertilize. And we're not saying don't fertilize. We're saying don't over-fertilize. Go to greengreen.org. And then the other one is accept a few weeds, and I get pushed back on that too. But you can eat some weeds. Did you know? Eat your weeds. So go to growgreen.org. So we have a couple little commercials. They're only 30 seconds long, so this is your commercial break. If you could scroll down and look at the list, because that's not the first video. I don't want you to watch them all. Right there.
Drop down screen.
There we go.
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, do big three Johnny Mantis. On that one. Okay, there's another one. Here we go.
These are on TV.
They were. It's my favorite. Dung beetle. Oh, yeah. Dr. Dung beetle. Dr. Dung beetle. Okay, let's see. There's two more. Are they fun? Wait, how do I? No, just stop that one. We don't want that's boring. There's. It's not animated. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Where are we?
The professor.
Go up.
Hey Denise, did you get to do the animations?
This one. We had a local advertising.
All right, I found that one.
Okay, there's one more.
You found that?
Wait,
That was
oh, yeah,
offensive.
that's it. Oh, no, you saw that one. No, you've seen them all. Okay, so you say those terrorists. Yeah, we can go. Yeah, there's a Turk's cap, Malva. This is the bat-faced Kukia bass player. She's one of my favorites. But Dr. Dung Beetle's my favorite. We were sitting with the advertising agency. We were trying to come up with characters, and I said, let's make one of them a dung beetle. And they did. So we have T-shirts all over town with, you know, this guy. We got little tattoos made. I didn't bring them. I could kill myself. No, I wouldn't. But, but you know, we incorporate this into a lot of things that we do. So those are our big three messages. And my understanding, because this was government done, if you guys, any of you guys want to use this stuff, you can. Now, we do have a restriction. It's kind of silly. We can't distribute any of our materials north of Dallas or south of San Antonio. I know. It's because of a lot of trademark lawsuit. Yeah. So we can't, if you're in that area, we can. But if you're above San Antonio, or above Waco or below San Antonio, we can share this stuff with you. So then we do something like this. You too can be we go to the festivals. Very popular. People love that stuff. They eat it up. And then we have classes for homeowners. This is one of them that we have. And at the end of this show, I say, grow green and spend more time chasing bubbles with your friends. And there's a little picture of him with his friend blowing bubbles. Landscape professional training. This is very, very popular. We invite every kind of landscape contractor, arborists, irrigators, designers, landscape architects. It's a 30-hour training, so it's over a period of 5 different Fridays. Each day has a separate topic. So one day is sustainability, one day is water quality, one day is IPM, and fire-wise one, a design one. And they come to the training, and once they come to the 30 hours of training, we're able to put them on our Grow Green website as a Grow Green landscape professional. And I try to emphasize it's not an endorsement. It's just a way. When citizens ask me, who should I call? And I say, well, call my friend Bill, but I can't do that. So we can say, these folks have come to this training. And I try to encourage them to ask them questions of their contractors that they would of anybody. But when we do it at City Hall, we can actually tape them. So we have a lot of the videos online that you can go and see the presentations. Let's see what else about there. Oh, and I do get CEUs for them. So on the IPM day, I try to get TDA, Texas Department of Agriculture CEUs. On the days that we talk about trees, I try to get them for International Society for Horticulture. So that's a way. And I also invite city staff because we have a lot of city staff that apply pesticides. And this way I can give them topics on oak wilt or fire ants, things that would be helpful to them. Because they go to some of these trainings and learn about, crop dusting or whatever. It's like not helpful to them in their jobs. Yes?
Do you do anything with pollinators?
Well, yes, we do. Not particularly in this. We have a monarch program and we have a wildlife habitat program that kind of deals with that more, but we definitely work together. I think there's a need to do more. So it's not as strong as it could be, but certainly something that we're interested in. So anyway, that's turned out to be a really great program, and we only charge $20 a day.
How many people do you usually get at that training?
For the whole training that people come to all 5 of them, we probably get 50 to 60 people that come to the whole thing. In the early days, it would fill up, and so you had to come to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now we open it up if you just want to come to one day. But to stay listed on the site, you have to come back one day each year. So it's a kind of a record-keeping nightmare for me, but it's, we have maybe 60 people come through the whole series. Yes, Chip?
I'm curious, and I don't know how things work in Texas, but we have an specifically going on about landscape professionals. We have a local conversation going on all the time about those who are above board in all their training and practices and those who are off the radar screen, and trying to figure out more ways to encourage those who are not properly training to do it. And maybe it's a general question to everybody. I presume it's a problem everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for new ideas to how to better engage those folks. Some of them were hoping, I mentioned earlier about the online training that we're going to do for pesticide applicators. We're hoping we'll capture some that way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the problem is that they're running 9 to 5 and they can't make it to training sessions or that's dollars off the table. So, but anyway, I threw it out there because I would be curious whether you all have tricks up your sleeves to try to help address that.
Tricks up our sleeve. You mean how do we get people to come to it? Or I'm not quite sure.
I mean, do you do any sort of like special outreach to those? Have you tried that sort of? Because we're discussing whether we need to do that, whether we need to develop some sort of outreach to go out and find those folks and make sure that they know how they can get in and get properly certified.
Well, this is our outreach, and I mean we promote it just like we do everything else. One thing that's good for us as a city is our utility insert. Because everybody that has to pay a utility bill, which is everybody, gets one of those little inserts in their utility bill. So I'm not sure if I'm answering that.
That's okay. Like I said, it's just a big broad problem for all of us.
And then we go to lots of festivals. I just had this tent made to look like a tree. So it's got the tree top on it and then the tree in the back. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these bikes, but they're super cool. So when they ride the bike, means open. Everybody's going to want one, right? So that was at our Monarch Festival. I think they have there's a group of people that do this and they have a bunch of these different bikes, but you have to pay them to come to your festival. But hey, look at how cool that is. And then you can see on my little things over there, these I meant to make like little shrubs to go with the little things to sit on. I know, I'm a goofball. But, you know, trying to think of creative ways. I have to tell you this. We had an event at one of our springs, the Wisest Springs, and we had a mermaid. We had 1,000 people show up. It was about the spring, but the mermaid was the draw. And now this girl's going to start a nonprofit for mermaids. I'm not kidding. It's Austin. Our motto is we have to keep Austin weird. That's kind of our motto, keep Austin weird. I say keep Austin wonderful because that's what's fun. So we do lots of giveaways. Like this is a great little giveaway you guys might think about. A little magnifying glasses when we have, you know, disease identification classes. We do T-shirts, we have garden bags, we have hats, we have flash drives, I have all kinds of stuff. So there's the little flash drive. So yeah, and trying to make them so it's something related to the program. But if any of you guys are interested in this stuff is really not terribly expensive. You can put your logo on just about anything, and I've been doing a lot of that lately. So if you can think of a logo, or if you can think of something you want to put a logo on, somebody probably does it. And then again, we go to lots of festivals. Technology, of course, is affecting us. We just got a drone for our department. So, you know, this isn't the best picture group. They're going out and looking at the creeks, like after all the floods, you know, they can fly the drone over the creeks and see where the damage is and stuff. So that's pretty cool. This is an app that the Sustainability Office put out that, you know, it's like sort of like here are all the things you can do and also to be sustainable. This is kind of hard to show, but this was a display that I saw at a place in it's a water institute in San Marcos. And if you put your hand over this, it shows where the flood's going to be, and it like moves around. I wish I had a video of it. So you put your hand here, and it shows how that's going to impact the flooding in that way. If you put it over here, like where Jessica has her hand, then the flooding, it moves over there. Awesome. I'm saying technology can be used in a lot of ways, and those are some of the ways that we're using it. Community engagement is really big. We do all kinds of volunteer projects. We have I can't say it. Say it 3 times fast. Creek cleanups. Clean Creek Camp. Say that 3 times. Clean Creek Camp. We have an invasive species management plan for the city that's directed at invasive species on city property, and we were able to convince city council to hire a staff person to do that. And so, you know, it's a big job. Really, it's being strategic, like where do we need to address invasive species, because we're not going to get rid of them all, of course. We do have a whole kids education program called Earth Camp. I don't have any kids, so I don't know, so I'm not too familiar with all the kids stuff, but we try to get them early. We have lots of partnerships. The Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center's in Austin. If you ever come to Austin, you have to go there. I got to help build it, and I got to hang out with Lady Bird for about 10 years. So I can tell you some good Lady Bird stories if you want to hear some over beers. Of course, make sure the Active Life Extension folks get in there. We work with the National Wildlife Federation. We have a local nonprofit that plants trees. We have lots of partners. I just put a couple of them up there. So it's kind of like, why reinvent the wheel? Let's work together. Let's collaborate. Let's, you know, let's help each other. And so we do that. You know, and then it's nice when you get some recognition for those things. Oops. And this was kind of the end, and since Zika came up, and we talked about it this morning a little bit, it's just such a huge topic. I don't really want to go into it, but I think the important thing is that we're all giving out the same information. This came from our Health and Human Services Department. We have a fact sheet. Another department's doing something else. So just within the city, we're trying to get on the same page. So when we look at all of us, it's like, how can we get those messages? You know, I mean, basically we tell people, if you can't avoid going outside, wear repellent and get rid of your standing water. I mean, those are the 2 main things you can do. Could you pull up the Grow Green side again? I can show you our mosquito fact sheet. I think that was the last one. So go to print resources right there. Okay, and then scroll down. Let's see, go to the Integrated Pest Management link. I know the city have to dig for stuff on our website. We had it all laid out the way we wanted it, and then they told us we all had to do our sites the same way, and it ruined it. Okay, so scroll down. Let's see. Learn more about common Austin pests and how to treat them. Okay, scroll. Oh, no, that's up there. I'm sorry, I should just do that. Up at the top where it says grow green fact sheets. Yeah. And so these are the main pests that we've identified. There's the mosquitoes one. And we just changed our fact sheets. We used to have, on the back of our fact sheets, we had a list of all the products that were listed for mosquitoes, and we had them listed by toxicity. And I could show you, I can't show you all of them because they're not up there anymore. But what we've moved to is you scroll down a little bit, instead of talking about the actual products, because the idea was somebody would go into the nursery, get the fact sheet, read it, figure out what product they need, and then walk over the shelf and buy it. That never happened. So now we're focusing on the active ingredients. Like, that to me is what people need to know about. They don't need to know what company it's from or if it's green light or if it's whatever. They need to know that it has BT in it. And so this is the first fact sheet that we kind of switched over to just talking about the active ingredient. And then things like this happen, those mosquito misters, I mean, everybody's putting them in. You guys know, I mean, I hope you'll agree with me that this is not a good idea. It doesn't kill very many of the adults in it. And I was talking to a woman at one of the workshops, and she said, well, I had one of those, and I saw it spraying the little anoles, and I saw it spraying the hummingbirds, and so I put that on the fact sheet, because if that's what got that rich lady to quit using them, it may affect other people. So that's what I'm going to say about that. You can close that down.
Do you have a budget for printing these, or how do they get out?
Yeah, within the Watershed Protection Department, we have a pretty decent budget. We're lucky. Our programs are funded by our site drainage utility fee, where other departments like Parks and Rec are from the general fund, so they never have any money that we do. So we help them a lot. But I'm saying if you guys work with any cities, there are departments like ours where we're doing outreach too, and you can partner with them to, you know, like we pay, the city of Austin pays for all of our materials, and we give it free to the Travis County folks, and they help us distribute it. So it works out great for everybody. They don't have to pay for it, but we get our message out there. And then I did want to mention this one last thing. A lot of our focus goes around healthy landscapes and using native and adapted plants. So we have, we did this plant guide a number of years ago. We hand this out in all those nurseries that have our fact sheets. A few years ago, we got 60,000 of these. Now we're down to about 45, 50,000, and part of that is because I have more responsibilities doing integrated pest management stuff. I'm not at the nurseries as much. But all the literature that we have, this one, people keep it forever. They have old copies. You see them carrying around in the nursery. So, you know, if you go through the plants, I mean, and this is for urban landscape plants. It's not for crops. But I'm telling you, this thing is super, super popular. We even sell it outside of Austin because we can give it out to the Travis County line for free since Travis County Extension works with us. But once we get past that county line, we have to charge for it. So we have nurseries buy them by the box. And all we charge is what it costs. It costs about $1 to print. We get 30,000 at a time. So it's pretty cheap. So let's see, is there any more? Is there another slide? I can't remember.
Yes,
I was
there
doing this like right after I saw you at breakfast. Is there another slide?
Yep.
She's
Oh! And I'm like, okay, where's that? Yeah. That's my contact information. That's it.
Oh.
All right, my time's up, so you can't ask any questions, but you can.
Do you have any way of measuring impact? In other words, with some of those videos, do people actually look at them and then change their behavior?
Oh, I wish. That's our biggest challenge with non-point source pollution. Like, how do we measure that? And I'm frustrated by it endlessly because we really don't know. There's really no, I mean, we can see by how many hits. Go to the website. We can count how many fact sheets we hand out. We can measure our water quality, but we do have 66 creeks. We have scientists that go out and do water quality monitoring. But, you know, they're out there once a year maybe. And when you're taking a water quality sample, it's just what's happening at that moment. So it's really hard to know if behavior is being changed. If anybody has an idea, we rack our brains about it all the time. You want to?
So I got a couple questions, and I think this is something for everybody else to chew on, especially in Texas, but I think in all the United States, but the southern states, the percentage of folks that Spanish is spoken as the primary language at home is slowly creeping up, and in some areas pretty fast. And my question is, do you have plans or have you started to develop bilingual pieces of information?
Yeah, we have.
Like those little cartoons.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, we have, our department has a little bit. Some other departments have more. It kind of depends. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And we're actually, I just saw something, I think it was in Health and Human Services. They had it in Korean and Chinese and, some other things too, because it's not just Spanish and English. So,
Yeah, and it has to be targeted based off the population.
Yeah. So yes, it's definitely on our radar. Being in Texas, we definitely need to be on that. So.